Welcome everybody to a special edition of Smack Talk here at smarkoutmovement.com, or rather youtube.com/smarkoutmovement. That's where you're probably watching it. I'm your host, of course, Tony Mango. With me as always, the Dace Man, Chris Dace. Newcomer to the show, Vic. What's up, Vic?
How you doing? Vic Straub here. Follow me at I am Vic Straub.
Getting it out of the way right now.
Yep. I'm the Michael Cole here. You gotta put that on Twitter.
I hope that I'm the Booker T.
What the hell?
Shucky Ducky!
We will go over that very soon.
Very soon. You're gonna hate us in a matter of, I'm gonna say 30 seconds.
So, this is the best and the worst of 2011 when it comes to WWE. Normal award shows just go for the best, but I'm a cynical bastard, so I wanted to go for the worst as well.
And the thing is, we had to specify the best and worst of WWE. Because otherwise, half the countdown would just be about another organization.
Yeah, that worst column would be filled with TNA.
Half is being generous.
Some people like TNA, but not that kind.
I am not one of those people. I give them a shot, but you know. So, thinking what we should do is break these down. We're going to have, if I can get a little graphic up there later on. If not, I apologize because future Tony didn't figure that out right.
Wow.
We are going to go with writing awards. We are going to go with technical awards, and we are going to go with performer awards. We're just like the Oscars here, people, except for even more rigged. So what we're doing right now is we're going to start with the technical awards, and why not start the intro with best and worst entrances in WWE. How this is going to work, I'm going to get you guys to say what you thought, then I'm going to go over mine. When it comes down to your fan votes, if there's enough people that have voted and I can actually tally the results up, I'm going to post a little graphic at the end of each one of these, and that'll tell you the best and worst, what you chose. If it's a whole bunch of ties, then the hell with it. I'm not going to do that much work. Alright, so, Dace, what do you think? The best, or you know, let's start with the worst, because everybody always likes the bad news first. The worst entrance in WWE 2011.
Okay, I'm a bitter bastard. But when it comes to worst entrance, I pick Dolph Ziggler's Here to Show the World because I think he's pure perfection. And there is no reason to switch that up like 3 years into that gimmick. So I'm bitter, especially since they still use half the song from the other one.
I mean, Downstate has got to be loving the royalties they're getting from WWE right now. They're the new Saliva. As far as every song is by Downstate.
Chris Warren's pissed up.
It was ridiculous seeing Ziggler and Miz team up because I felt like there was no break in their entrance. But as far as what I'd have to do for worst entrance, and this is going to be my answer for a lot of them, I'm sorry to say, is Michael Cole.
Oh.
The first time you see him in that orange singlet, it made me cry a little as a wrestling fan. Like, at that part, remember years ago when the whole Katie Vick thing, when Eric Bischoff was talking to Michaels about it, it's like, what, does this bother you as a Christian? His response was, no, this offends me as a wrestling fan. And seeing Michael Cole, I heard that voice in my head. In that singlet with those prison tattoos, and as he's jiggling his way down to the ring. No. That is my pick for worst entrance.
Well, that and the Triple H one.
The Triple H one.
When he came out in the Triple H tights.
God, that was...
I still cheer him, though, when he enters. Whenever he comes out, I cheer for him.
If you heard a bunch of people, I know you wouldn't have heard because it wouldn't have been on there, but TLC, we went nuts for Michael Cole. Jerry King Lawler comes out. Alright, we like you, Michael Cole. Yeah! You're the freaking man! Yeah, that was great. I would have to say worst entrance, Unico. Or Hunico, still haven't figured out what the fuck I'm supposed to be saying for that. And when it comes to which of his entrances, I'm not going to say the Sin Cara one, because even though we can see the trampoline, and that's pretty damn stupid, I haven't seen that new one of him supposedly like riding around on a motorcycle or
I haven't seen that yet.
Pogo stick or some shit.
That's the song with him like kind of jerking his head as he walks to the ring.
Yeah, the one I'm used to
like,
is the
Spanish
sheet
now.
music
Yeah,
with the buttoned up shirt where it's only buttoned up at the top, and he just kind of moves back and forth, and the music is as depressing as it could possibly be. So Unico, Sin Cara Negro, Sin Cara Azul.
Conan 2.0.
Whatever the hell his first name actually is, I don't know.
Until you get a good gimmick.
Or maybe that's the other guy. I don't know. They're all the same. Not talking about Hispanics, I'm talking about Sin Caras. Yeah, there's an edit right there. Alright, best entrance.
I'm going to have to give it up for CM Punk. I get chills every time his music hits. He hits that one knee and yells it's clobbering time, and I'm in the zone.
I will say, I've been a CM Punk fan for years. So that first time that...
That's why I'm sitting on that side.
Exactly. When Cena was in the ring, and that first time, there's no graphic on the Titantron, and you just hear the static and Cult of Personality comes up, I'm freaking out, because I know what that means. And I talked to people online at the same time who was like, what the hell is this? Who's coming out? And I'm like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Like, that was friggin' awesome. But I don't know if I can give him best entrance for this one. I'm going to have to give best entrance to someone that, before they have a chance to screw it up, I'm going to give best entrance to Kane right now. Just coming out, because for a while, when Kane first came out, he was that guy that's like, holy shit, you don't want to mess with him. And then for the past almost 10 years, he's been mid-card mania. But then 2 weeks ago on Raw, when he comes out with, like, even though it's the Casey Jones mask or whatever, and then the other mask underneath it, it's like Kane looked like a badass again. And actually, it's like that, it made me afraid of Kane again. Like, all right. And he looked like he could kill people again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give best entrance to Kane. At least new Kane until WWE decides to have a job to Cena.
Which is probably going to be next.
It's already happened on the Dark Matches.
I'm going to go in a similar fashion, and I'm going to go with somebody who pretty much, as long as they're here, they're going to win this award for me, and that's Undertaker. I can't vote against The Undertaker for this.
I have to agree with you. The first time I ever saw The Undertaker live was actually Survivor Series 06. And I've seen him on TV for years, always been a fan. But being in that arena, when the lights go down and you hear that bell, it gives you chills. And
there's a reason why there's an old footage. I might have to put it up on Smark if I can find it. There's old footage of an elementary school music competition thing that we did. And of course, instead of doing an actual music thing, because I can't sing and I can't dance and I can't play any instruments, I decided that what we were going to do is we were going to have a little wrestling match. A friend of mine was Bret Hart and I was The Undertaker. I called Undertaker immediately from that, and I had the wig on, I had stupid little rub-on tattoos, which instead of being, like something badass, like a snake or skulls or whatever like that, it was like a little Oreo thing, a bunch of crap like that. But there's a reason why I needed to be Undertaker for that, and that's because that entrance was awesome. I had the lights go down, I had the gong going off, I had druids next to me and a little tombstone, and it was fantastic. Undertaker has to win best entrance every year for the most part. I like a lot of them, and a lot of them came really, really close, but The Undertaker's just that much further up. So the next award we're going to go for is the best finisher of the year. I should technically end this with finisher, but I'm going to go a little wayward here. Now, worst finisher of the year, 2011.
I'm going to have to go with the WMD. Back and forth, always with WWE officials. Is a closed fist illegal? Is a closed fist awesome? And we were talking about this before we went live with the show. They kept bouncing back and forth, and just when they were saying, yes, it is illegal, Big Show debuted this I'm going to knock you the fuck out with a punch move. And I don't like it. I mean, it's quick, it comes out of nowhere, but if you're going to go by the rules, it's illegal. And he gets wins over with it. But that's just me.
See, I don't know as far as worst finisher in WWE, because there's, I don't know, some that look really cool that you could tell are just kind of stupid, and some that would probably hurt, like the WMD, that, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go with Alicia Fox, though. I'm going to throw our first diva in here.
Which finisher?
The flip kick. The flipping leg drop thing that apparently breaks everyone's face. Any move that does legitimate harm to people on a regular basis without looking badass, like it should be doing regular harm to people on a regular basis. Like if Big Show punched you in the face and hit you and broke your skull in, I'd allow it. But if Alicia Fox,
especially if it's you,
is gonna do
we're talking
a flipping leg drop and hurt people, she shouldn't be hurting things. Look at that. I mean, no, I hate her anyway. So no, that's my finisher.
Worst finisher of the year for me. I actually had to look up the name because I didn't know it. All I knew it as that fucking piece of shit move that Heath Slater does. Apparently, it's called Sweetness, and it couldn't be further from the truth because it's the worst finisher. He has a laundry list of terrible finishers, and this makes that his version of the Scorpion Death Drop look like it's gold. I don't like the zigzag at all, and this is a shittier version of the zigzag. I'm not a fan of Heath Slater, but I'll give him a little bit of credit on some things. Yeah, apparently there's a lot of fangirls out there.
Wendy's.
I don't get it. I do like Wendy's though. I would rather finish at Wendy's than finish with an Heath Slater match. I'm not a big fan of him, but I give him some credit where credit's due every once in a while. And when that comes to the finishers, hell no. No credit at all. Best finisher of 2011.
RKO. Yeah, I could sit on YouTube and watch all the RKOs he's done over the past years, and it's out of nowhere. And my favorite one of all time is when he hit Evan Bourne with it. Evan Bourne's doing his finisher, and then all of a sudden Orton's up in the air and just bringing him down the ground.
I'm gonna go with Evan Bourne. that shooting star press, dude. It looks flawless. Like, it's so easy. A lot of the high risk guys, Hardy always looked like he hurt himself whenever he did stuff. You know, some of them it's too quick, or it misses its mark, or it looks painful to the person doing it, or the person it's to. Evan Bourne, it just looks so perfect. Like, it's nothing to him just to do a real flip and be over with it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to go with Evan Bourne with that one.
I'm going to have to go with Alicia Fox. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding there. I have to go with the RKO as well. When it comes to flashy finishers, it's a pretty good one. You get those kind of examples when he pulls that out of his ass. And then when it comes to things that look like they're painful, unless he does it to something like when he does it on a table or when he does it on the steps or something like that, because you can tell that it's Orton hitting, not that. But when he lands it in its normal fashion, it looks like he snaps your neck down. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of those moves. One of my favorite things about finishers is if it can come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that the super kick was one of, if not the best finishers ever in WWE. So right now, since we don't have the super kick, the RKO is the best example of something that can come out of nowhere, looks like it finishes you, which is the point, and is flashy enough that it's not just somebody picking you up and throwing you down and being like, well, he's a big guy, of course he threw you down with a lot of force.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had notes with this, because I just remembered another finisher that I would have voted for worst for this year.
What was that?
I would have retracted my Alicia Fox and gone with Wasteland instead.
I love Wasteland.
I hate Wasteland.
I wanted to see that through a table so bad. I was glorified on Monday.
I hate that movie.
I gotta agree with the Wasteland thing. I'm not a big fan of it. If he used it as a regular move, I would be.
Yeah, that's one thing. But yeah. I'm sorry to derail.
I love the Wasteland.
Next up. What's next?
Let's jump right to a big one.
Jump around.
A big one here, because we're going to get a lot of people for this first video. Match of the year. Let's start early with this. Worst match of the year.
Big Show versus Mark Henry for the championship at Vengeance. First of all, they're reenacting the Brock Lesnar ring break again. That pissed me off. And
Michael Cole has never, I swear to God, never seen that before.
And then they just have horrible matches as it is. They just made me really bitter when they went and tried to erase Brock after pumping him up for WWE 12. So, Big Show versus Mark Henry at Vengeance.
See, other than the finish, I didn't mind that match. That was a pretty decent match. The finish was cheesy. And I hated that they did it. And part of me is curious as far as how they did it. Like, if they set up little, rigs underneath the ring to fall a certain way. Because it was obviously planned. The first time around, that was ridiculous. This time, the fact that it fell the exact same way, it was just stupid. But again, I'm going to throw in Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole.
Which one?
All of them. Every single time.
He didn't read my results yet. He didn't see that. I read your results.
I enjoyed the Mania match Austin yelling at him the entire time. He dropped the F-bomb like 13 times, blowing the PG era.
Well, Austin and The Rock brought back the Attitude Era at Mania last year.
Yes.
Both of them, the whole time. Just
F-bombs.
But every time Michael Cole steps in a ring, I have to turn it off. I'd rather watch a Kelly match than Michael Cole.
I gotta say, the country whipping match, I can't even express how shitty that was. You just have to watch it and then gouge your eyes out.
Turn it off.
Best match of the year.
I'm going to have to go with Randy Orton as champion, defending against Christian at Over the Limit. I loved the feud they had over the summer. I thought it was very well done. I was extremely pissed when Christian lost the title after, 4 days? And just, it built to something better, and it built to me, even though he was a heel, wanting it more. And I felt that Over the Limit was their best match.
I'm going to pick a pretty obscure one. My favorite match of the year so far, like just general match, was actually Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett at SummerSlam.
No, I'm just kidding.
I hated the ending, because again, I hate Wasteland. That's a stupid move that I think would do nothing. But that whole match was, I thought, really decent. It went back and forth a little bit, had Bryan be able to show some of his like technical skills, while also showing Barrett as the brawler. And they worked with each other. The ending was just, with Wasteland out of nowhere, it just seemed too abrupt. For a match that was going back and forth so much, it seemed like it stopped in its tracks, but the match itself I thought was pretty good.
I gotta agree with Dace here. Randy Orton against Christian at Over the Limit. That is the match that I wrote down as my match of the year back when it happened. And I've added a couple more nominees that I wanted to double check and make sure, like the Miz against Morrison title defense on Raw, Mysterio against Cena, which is hard for me to admit because I'm not a huge fan of either of them, for their championship title match on Raw. There were a couple of ones here and there, surprisingly, and you're going to hate me for this, it never crossed my mind to have Cena against Punk on this list. And if you look back at the Money in the Bank results, the reason why is because I think if you took out the end of that match and kept just everything leading up to that, nobody would be saying that was match of the year.
They had a much better match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I feel like at
But
Money
it was
in
the
the
hype
Bank,
leading to it and the ending that made that match memorable.
At Money in the Bank, it kind of felt like Punk was sandbagging Cena a little bit, make him look worse than what he really was. Because there was a lot of botched moves in the Money in the Bank
There was
match.
a lot of botch moves in that. So, Randy Orton and Christian was a feud I didn't really want to see, but it ended up being one of the best feuds of the year. And it was strictly because of their match quality. Their promos weren't really that fantastic. I mean, they were fine, of course, but they weren't that much above to make that the focal point of the whole feud. But the ring matches, I mean, they were just fantastic. Every one of their matches.
Both of them threw their bodies on the line with every match, just to make the other person look good.
Yeah.
One more match. He needs one more match. So does Edge. All right.